Hello Bond fans and welcome to this very quick video. Recently there was a little video posted about No Time to Die, and it was a official Super Bowl TV spot which revealed to us some new footage that we hadn't seen in the trailer. So I thought it would be just good to take a few minutes and have a look. So it starts out with Daniel Craig and Nomi in a plane, and they are about to, and he says to her, "Have you ever flown one of these before?" And she says, "Nope." And I like that. I think that kind of adds a new dimension to them, because obviously he's more experienced than her, but she's giving it all the attitude, obviously knowing, thinking that she, will keep him in his lane, but yet when it comes to that, it's like, nope, I'm a bit nervous about this. I think there's going to be a good dynamic between them two. And we see a couple of aerial shots, which is nice. I hope we get a good aerial action sequence, because we haven't really had that for a while. Well, actually, no, in Spectre we had a snow plane sequence, but it was a car and a plane. But like a proper aerial fight would be good. We haven't had that really since Quantum of Solace, so that would be good. And then we see a couple of extra bits to what we would have seen in the original trailer, which is Bond jumping over the side of the bridge again. And there are some title cards that come up which say, "This April, the 25th film will change everything," which I think is weird. They've never done that before, where they've literally marketed it as like the 25th film in a video. They've never really done this sort of thing before, but I think it's interesting. So what will they change? We shall see. The only other thing really to mention is like the couple of extra shots that we see. We see a shot of people on a glass window at night time, presumably in London, who are going down a rope. I'm assuming they're breaking into MI6 or somewhere. I mean, unless it is MI6 breaking into somewhere else. Then there's a shot of Bond underwater as well. I wonder what that's all about. We then see Bond strut out of a room in Cuba, I believe, and then there's a shot of him firing a gun, which is nice. And then we see a shot of Madeline looking out on the balcony, looking a bit upset or a bit worried, looking rather sexy at the same time. And we're hearing Blofeld's line again that we heard in the trailer, which is "If her secret finds its way out, it will be the death of you." And then we see a shot of Safin shooting the ice, so we still don't know who is under the ice, but I think it's interesting that we see that. And then there's a shot of Bond. There's quite a few shots of Bond looking quite shocked in this video. Like he's hearing a phone call, and then he drops the phone looking very shocked. He also looks very shocked in the last shot that we see of him when he's pointing the gun. And over the course of the last few shots, which are very quick, we hear Safin say, "This was your choice," in a very creepy way. We see very short glimpses of Safin, Blofeld, M. We even see a shot of Judi Dench, actually. Judi Dench's painting on the wall. So I like that her legacy is still very much a part of the series. We also see a shot of Paloma, Ana de Armas' character, which is the same shot we saw in the trailer. And again, the shot with Madeline in the mask, we've seen that already. And then obviously the title comes up. It's a very short video. It's a 30-second thing, but it was nice that they got a slot to to show on the Super Bowl. It must have cost them a fair bit of money, but 30 seconds, it's better than nothing. And we did see a couple of extra shots that we didn't see originally, so the hype is real. I can't wait for this movie, and it's going to be fantastic, judging by the look of it. Again, Cary Fukunaga, whoever your DOP is, your cinematographer, this movie looks fantastic. I mean, I can't believe how good it looks. So, roll on April. The only other thing to talk about really in this video is the runtime of the movie. It was recently rumoured that No Time to Die would be 3 hours long, which perplexes me really. I never imagined it to be that long, but there are various sources saying that it is 3 hours long. Nothing has been confirmed as of yet. However, if you search it on the internet, it's pretty much rumored by every source you can think of that the movie is going to be 3 hours long, which would make it the longest James Bond film to date. I mean, currently the longest Bond film is Spectre at 2.5 hours long, well, 2 hours 28 minutes, whereas this one is going to be 3 hours, which would be interesting. I mean, to be honest, after a 5-year wait, I will take all the Bond I can get. And as also a big fan of Daniel Craig as James Bond, I will be happy to sit there for 3 hours, 3.5 hours to watch the movie. 3 hours, I think, would be the max. I think, you can't really make it any longer than that, but there's obviously quite a lot to tie up as well, because they have said this in interviews, they're going back to all 4 previous movies and tying up the story arcs from, well, since Casino Royale. So it will be very interesting to see how they do this, because Spectre made the decision to tie in all the villains together and make them part of Spectre, and the fact that Blofeld was basically responsible for everything that happened to Bond since Vesper's death. I think this would be very, very interesting. And obviously, you can't... The way Spectre ended, I mean, you could have argued that was an ending, but there was always room for one more, I think. And I like the idea that they're going with, that Madeleine has a big secret that threatens her and Bond's relationship. And I think there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. I think the trailers have shown us quite a bit, but they haven't shown us everything. I think it's been very clever the way they've marketed this film. But anyway, that's kind of my thoughts. What do you think of the proposed runtime of this movie? Do you think that 3 hours is too long, or are you quite happy to sit there for 3 hours and watch James Bond? I mean, personally, James Bond is my favourite film franchise of all time. So I don't care if the movie is 3 hours long. I don't care if it's longer. I was hoping that it was going to be at least 2.5 hours, but no, I'm glad it's going to be a long one, because I think there's loads to tie up, and I think it looks like they're going to give us something pretty epic. So all hands to the all hands to the car on this one. Also, what do you think of the Super Bowl spot? Did you like that? And are you excited for the next trailer? Presumably we'll get a next trailer in March, I would imagine. And then, of course, at some point we will find out Billie Eilish's song. That will be released, and we can hear that before the film comes out. Oh God, I hope it's good. Anyway, thank you all for listening to me, and stay tuned for my next review. I'll be reviewing Diamonds Are Forever. So until then, thank you all for listening. I'm Mr. Stardust 11. See you soon. Bye for now.